right, all right. Welcome to episode 5 of Detectivery State of Mind and Other Strange Things podcast. I'm your host, Detective Chuck. With me are my co-host, Detective Burke.
Morning.
Morning, Detective Burke. And Sergeant RJ. What's up, RJ?
Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen. And that is the word of the day, man. Hey, I hope everyone's having a great day out there. Again, I am going to start it off with a very serious question. One more serious question. So you got an option. You got a choice for your last meal. Italian or Mexican? What's it going to be?
Easy. Mexican. Every time.
Mexican all the way.
If it's cheese enchilada, yeah.
If it's cheese...
Anything with green chili, yeah.
I would have to say Mexican also. I'd have to agree with you.
Yeah.
You could do a Mex-Italian.
Oh, yes. I did have raviolis one time. I had cheese raviolis with green chili on top.
Oh, that'd be
and it was
good.
absolutely delicious. Like mind-blowing.
Nice.
Change your
I
life.
might have to try making that.
Cheese raviolis
So
with green.
good.
I never even thought of that. Holy crap. That is crazy, man. That will change your game right there. I bet
Yes.
you. I've never experienced that before. That'd be
Yeah,
wonderful.
me either. My taste buds they were all over the place. It was crazy.
What the hell's happening in the kitchen back there? Oh, you know what? It was purely an accident, but then we're like, hey, what the
Yeah.
hell, man?
We
Yeah, it's
ran
like-
out of marinara, so
We got some green chili.
We got some green chili to go with that. And here we go, man. Speaking of Mexican and Italian food, that is the podcast of the day today. We are talking about police departments, law enforcement agencies, whatever you want to call them, around the world. We have a very exciting episode to do today. So we're going to start that off with Detective Burke. What do you got?
just like the start of modern policing with Sir Robert Peel.
The Peel Man.
He began with a list of policing principles. There was 9 of them altogether, and this isn't a history class, so we're not going to go through all of them.
Yeah.
He established the Metropolitan Police in England in 1829, and there was 3 core values that were part of his program. I'll just read them off here. The goal is preventing crime, not catching criminals. If the police stop crime before it happens, we don't have to punish citizens or suppress their rights. An effective police department doesn't have high arrest rates. Its community has low crime rates.
So essentially, the Minority Report.
Yeah.
The pre-crime unit.
Yeah.
The key to preventing crime is earning public support. Every community member must share the responsibility of preventing crime, as if they are all volunteer members of the force.
So you're saying he's essentially like the father of modern police, is what you're saying. What we do now.
Yeah, I
Pretty
mean, it's kind of like what they call community policing now. He was doing back then.
Man, that's a buzzword right there. Community policing, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's a buzzword.
And he says that the people will only accept responsibility if the community supports and trusts the police. And finally, the police earn public support by respecting community principles. Winning public approval requires hard work to build reputation, enforcing the laws impartially, hiring officers who represent and understand the community, and using force only as a last resort.
And that was back when, in 1829.
It was 1829.
Didn't he have like his damn hands and everything?
Yeah, he was a minister of parliament and rich, and
He was like all over the place.
Yeah.
Affluent.
yeah.
What, do you just sit around and think of shit all day? Just like,
Well, yeah, because he pays people to go actually out and work.
that's a good deal. I like that idea. Get out there and work. I'll pay you some cash.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, so we're talking 1829.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out what the hiring principles were like in 1829. So what kind of job posting do you put out there for a police officer in Britain in 1829?
Well, they didn't have Indeed.
They didn't have
No,
Indeed.com.
they didn't have
No.
Glassdoor,
Police One,
LinkedIn.
Monster. Yeah, they didn't have
stuff
none
like
of
that.
that.
Officer, yeah,
Yeah.
that stuff didn't exist. So when you're looking for a gig, so when you're out there walking around in 1829 looking for a job, and you're like, you see the little poster on the side of the building or something like that.
I like those helmets.
Oh, that looks like an
Yeah,
interesting
that looks
gig.
better than working at the factory.
Yeah, it's like, I think I'm going to go give this a shot.
Yeah.
Man, how it's changed.
You got to be outside,
Yeah, you got to be outside sometimes. Sometimes you got to go into bars,
walking around with raw
do your bar
sewage.
checks. And
Yeah.
you get
Yeah,
your
that's where the word bobbies comes from.
Right. Yeah.
Was
Robert.
for Robert.
Yeah.
They were also called peelies, which they kind of
Mhm.
went away because stupid. Number
Yeah.
one.
So is that where the nightstick swing came from? You know,
No,
when
that's
they spin
actually a
the-
Baltimore thing.
Baltimore.
that's a
yeah.
Baltimore thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Baltimore. They still do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's actually, and my grandfather had taught me how to do it.
Hmm.
So you have a longer, like wrist thong on it, and it comes up about a third of the stick. And the way it's balanced, yeah, you can kind of spin it.
You just spin it around.
Mm-hmm.
That was back in the day, man. Where did saps come from? If you don't know what a sap is like a leather pouch with basically like a lead stick in it.
Yeah, those have been around for a long
It was
time.
about 10 inches
Yeah.
long, I think, maybe 10, 12 inches.
Yeah,
something
you
like
can get
that.
them in various.
Some are longer than others.
Some are longer than others.
Yeah, you don't see those very often anymore.
No.
No, you don't see
We had
it.
a sergeant that had one. He kept it in his desk
Yes.
from back
Yep,
in the day. He
that's
worked
right.
for a major police agency, a big
Yes.
city,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually used him all the way up into the early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That sap, man, that thing will light your shit up
Yeah. Yeah.
if you get hit with that thing.
Yeah, you notice.
Yeah.
A little bit. You notice later after you wake up.
So what kind of weaponry are we talking about in 1829?
They carried nightsticks.
Nightsticks. Did
Yeah.
they really carry guns, or did they
No,
have?
No, it was
No, it's
not
pretty much
common at all.
nightsticks. No, yeah, that's
Uh,
crazy.
You may have like detectives might carry weapons,
Yeah.
but like your average patrol officer, no.
No,
They had a nightstick.
A nightstick or a
nightstick,
club.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
That is nuts. So what do we got next on the list? So now we get out of Sir Robert Peel. Thank you, sir, for your service and invention of modern day policing.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, let's go to Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
Oh, wow. Right, right
man.
into it, huh?
Yeah.
Right into the fire.
Wow.
The Islamic Emirate Army is the national police under the Taliban. And I
Okay.
don't imagine they have a lot of hiring guidelines. If you just see them kind of packed into the back of a truck
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
driving around.
So now this is modern day, right?
Yeah, this is-
we're
this is
talking
under the
modern day.
This is under the Taliban right now.
Holy crap.
Greece, and I was just over there recently. You have the Hellenic Police.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of their national police force. And they also have a division. It is called the Tourism Police. They'll have a patch on the side of their uniform, and they deal with like disputes between tourists and vendors, and like people get lost. They make sure they get back to their hotel or tour
I'm
bus
sure that
or whatever.
happens in Greece. I'm sure you.
Where's
you
my
can get-
kidney? What happened to my kidney, guys?
I think that's in Venezuela.
That's
Oh,
in
okay.
Venezuela. The taking of the kidney.
I woke up in an
about
ice
that.
bath.
Yeah, I woke up in an ice bath. My fucking kidney was gone.
The internet was right.
Hey, what are your chances of buying it back?
Well, I mean, you have to have money, but yeah, I think
I think if you
You
woke
could
up
probably
soon
do
enough,
it,
you
yeah.
could put a bid in.
Can
Yeah.
I just buy it back? Can I have that, please?
yeah.
You
guys
take
offering-
Bitcoin.
Do you guys have coupons or offering discounts or anything?
Now, the Iceland police, they're divided into 9 districts. Like their whole island is divided into 9 districts, and each one has a local police force. They don't normally carry firearms. I think it was a couple of years ago they had an armed incident, but nobody got shot. The armed police had to show up.
It's a very European.
Mm-hmm.
So is that like sectioned out, like non-armed and armed and that kind of thing?
No,
Or is it-
actually, so like the patrol officers, and they've got marked patrol cars and everything.
Right.
They carry asps and pepper spray.
Hmm.
But they've also got a thing called the Viking Squad.
That sounds terrifying.
That's
Ooh,
that's
yeah.
that's the tactical team,
Okay.
and they carry out functions that normally the military would handle, like counterterror
Mhm.
or some other armed confrontation. Because Iceland doesn't have a standing army;
Right.
they have a coast guard,
So they don't have a physical, like a presence, like a military
No.
presence.
and they're the only member in NATO that doesn't have a standing army.
I did not know that. Well, who's going to invade Iceland? I mean,
Nobody wants an island full of volcanoes and ice
And Vikings.
and
And
Vikings.
Vikings.
Yeah, and Bjork.
They did have their first fatal shooting in 2013.
Wow.
holy crap.
That was the first one.
Damn.
Now the old, like, we talked before about like the night watchman
Right.
in like medieval times.
Mhm.
Iceland had that, and they carried morning stars.
Oh, is that like a
That's the chain.
chain that
The
has
spike
like a
ball.
spike ball on the end of it, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, man.
And that was more to keep the prisoners from this one prison in Reykjavik from wandering away.
Okay.
Oh, geez.
That is, I would prefer a sap over getting hit with a morning star.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because they may have to use their foot to get it out of your skull.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. Especially those things weighed a lot, didn't they? Didn't they have like a substantial weight to them?
Oh, yeah.
They came in different sizes and options.
Yeah.
And you get your options.
It's like the different caliber options now.
Yeah.
I need a dress morning star.
Yeah.
Can I get a dress morning star, please?
Some silver
I'm
accents
going on a
it.
parade. I want my dress
Yeah.
morning star.
I'm going to be at a funeral, so I need,
I need a dress.
really
morning,
fancy gold one.
Yeah.
Something flat black. And
flat black.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
now, Italy's got a bunch of different agencies. There's two main federal agencies. If you ever go over there, where we were staying, I think it was their coffee stop in the morning. There was always a van there, about 6, 7 Carabinieri hanging out, having their coffee and everything.
Oh, okay.
They're friendly.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
and they're a gendarmerie, which means they're the police, but they are also part of the military.
Okay.
And they got another statewide police, the Guardia di Finanza, and it's like basically they're in charge of like customs, import,
Okay.
export, financial crimes, anything
Okay.
like that. The Carabinieri, and then they're the ones that pick up the mafia guys too. They go after like the really high profile complex crimes and
Okay.
everything.
That's a dangerous game.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would say that most likely is a dangerous.
There used to be
game.
a height
Yeah.
requirement for them. I don't know if they still do. I think it was minimum. You had to be at least 6 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. I'd be out.
Yeah, they used to,
I'd barely make the cut.
I'd barely make the cut.
and they have provincial police in each province. So it's like you'd have your own, like the state police there.
Yeah.
Cities will have a municipal police.
Mhm.
Like I said, the Carabinieri and the Guardia, they're also part of the military, and they've actually deployed to like Kosovo, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Now, how'd you like that coming on duty one morning?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to give out shift assignments here. Oh, congratulations. I guess you're going to be in Iraq for the next 3 months.
Wait, what? Wait, what the
I was
I'd
supposed
rather have District 2.
I'd rather have district two.
No.
Can I have district? Nope.
No, they're running short in Iraq, so
You're
3
going to
months.
Iraq. And they had all the private armies, man. We're going over like all those agencies.
The contractors.
Contractors were doing police gigs over there, I think,
Mhm.
for quite some. I
They
don't know if they
going
still
over there.
are.
They were training the local police.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know much about that, if they're still going over there or not.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think I've knew 2 individuals that actually went over
Mhm.
there and
Well,
did
you're
it.
seeing that with Ukraine now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a lot of
people are
retired
going over to
military
Ukraine,
going over there.
expats, and
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in Colombia, you got the National Police of Colombia.
Shakira.
Shakira.
I have every time I hear Colombia, I have to say Shakira. Her hips don't lie, man.
Her hips don't lie. That's hilarious.
And they're not part of the military, but they're under the Ministry of Defense, and they have a whole bunch of different divisions, like traffic,
Really?
yeah, tourism, narcotics,
Huh.
and they're all under that same group, but they
Yeah.
each have their own little like fiefdom.
Like their own little special
Mm-hmm.
niche, I guess,
Yeah,
be the word.
they're not doing a great job on the drugs, apparently.
For
Oh,
decades now, right?
No,
Yeah, I think that was
Cocaine.
kind of a big deal for a while. Wait, no, it still is.
Yeah.
Just go to any college campus around the United States, and you'll figure that out.
Well, I don't want to get completely off topic, but everybody that smokes the ganja
hmm
Mhm.
says that it comes from the earth. Well, coca comes from the earth. Cocaine.
Yeah, but it's not purified with gasoline.
Yeah, that's
Acetone either.
True. Yeah.
That's a fair
I heard that
point.
too. And poppies. That's God
Mhm.
gave us poppies.
Poppies, right? Mushrooms. Not
How about a
when
little
you put it on
heroin
your
with
salad.
That?
What was I? I was reading some science article about mushrooms.
Oh, the psilocybins.
Yeah.
No, like regular mushrooms, they say
Oh.
they communicate to each other.
I saw that story. Fuck, that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Did you read that? That was
I
crazy.
didn't,
I did
no.
actually read that story. You're right. That
I mean,
they
you
talk.
do have to watch out for Mario and Luigi.
Yeah.
You know.
And I'll probably feel bad the next time I'm sauteing up a pan of mushrooms.
Yeah.
But,
They're screaming in the pan. You can't hear them.
Yeah, they said something about like a human language or something crazy weird.
No
yeah,
shit.
I'd like to read some more about that.
It was
Wow.
really bizarre.
That's
It
interesting.
was like crazy, like fungi.
I mean, I'm not going to stop eating them,
Well, no, because they're delicious.
but I might feel bad about it.
Yeah, so
Maybe.
so now you go in there, you're looking for
Don't
mushrooms.
tell your friends.
Don't tell your friends. You're so tasty.
You've all been decapitated.
The butter will make you feel better.
Yeah, I think that's crazy. Yeah, I saw that story.
It's like a sauna.
If you're a vegetarian, does that fuck you up now?
What do you mean if you're eating a human speaking fungi?
Yeah, if you're eating a sentient fungi,
Yeah, they're sentient.
does that mess up your whole game now?
Now what do you do?
Yeah,
I'm going to eat some dirt.
I don't know.
tofu is intelligent too.
Tofu's intelligent. Hey, look how smart tofu is. Yeah, I don't know. I think that because the vegan now, you're speaking vegan, strictly vegan, not vegetarian. I think the vegan is like an animal product. So I think you're okay.
Oh, but it's sentient.
Yeah.
Well,
if it's
apparently,
self-aware, if it can recognize itself in a mirror.
I don't know if a mushroom can see itself in a mirror or even had an opportunity.
If they
to.
can talk, you don't know. Who knows?
I don't know how they figured that out. I still haven't dived deep enough into the article to figure that out. If he had like a little microphone down there next to the mushroom, he's like, wait, what?
Well, to those vegans out there, why don't you send us a message and let us know how you decide what's vegan and what's not?
Yeah.
You only eat the stupid mushrooms. This species has a lesser vocabulary, so we can eat them.
Yes.
This podcast has gone down. It's just gone. No.
But, there's
Hey, wait,
some.
aren't we doing international policing?
Yeah.
Robert Peel, how did we get on mushrooms?
How did we get on talking about communicating with mushrooms?
Sentient beings.
There's some poor fucker in a lab somewhere that spent like the last 15 years on this, I'm sure.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
just scratching his head, going, I swear to
wrote my
God, this
thesis
mushroom's
on
talking
this.
to me.
Yeah.
I think you need to take a vacation.
Bill, you need some time.
Yeah.
I didn't say that, man. That was the mushroom. I swear I didn't say that.
Quit eating the little brown ones, dude.
Oh.
Okay, move on to Germany.
Germany, yes.
That's divided up into 16 states, and each one has a state police. They also have federal authorities, like the Bundeskriminalamt. That's like their FBI, kind of.
Okay.
Okay.
16? You said 16
16 states.
states.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not districts, it's states.
Yeah.
Okay.
A GSG 9, too. They're counterterror. They
Right.
used to be part of the border guards, but now they're
Oh,
That-
okay.
more
So
into
they
the
consider
federal
their
authorities.
SWAT team, is that kind of, or is that a totally separate unit?
That's like a nationwide thing, GSG 9.
Okay. Interesting.
And they do like counterterror,
Mhm.
and
Right.
they have the federal criminal police. They're like multi-state or international cases.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the federal police, which is a uniformed service. So it's like a national police force.
Okay.
So that would be similar to the federal police in the United States? Would that be similar?
No,
the
but because
FBI or-
no, federal criminal police would be more like the FBI,
Okay.
Okay.
and the federal police is a uniformed service,
Oh,
like a
okay.
national police force.
Interesting.
And then they also have some municipal police, depending on the city and what the particular laws of that state is. So some states may allow for the city to have its own police, and some may not. Which is, if you get a ticket for something, it's got to just be confusing as hell, like which courthouse you go to.
It seems really complicated.
Yeah.
Seems very German.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's really interesting is I had a chance to go over there and drive on the Autobahn. What's really weird is, so like you have cities, counties, and then once you get outside of a county, so you're driving down the road, the street signs show you different things. Like one of them is like an ambulance with a circle and a line going through it, basically saying, good luck, you're on your own. So, and then the speed limit sign. So once you get out of side of the city, the county, and you get out, which is probably not county, I don't remember what the word is, the sign changes. So you have the speed limit sign with a circle and a line going through it. So now you're out in basically no man's land, and that's what they refer to as the Autobahn, and it's like a NASCAR race. So when you hit that border, holy shit, man, fucking cars take off, and they just launch.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I guess they are going to start putting speed limits now on the Autobahn because of gas prices.
Oh,
Well, that's where our original speed limits came from.
Was it?
The speed limit of 55 was originally created in the 1970s due to gas prices, because that's the best gas mileage you can get is 55 miles an hour.
holy shit, that's crazy. Well,
Yeah.
it's not 1970s, you know what I mean? They should
No,
change
it isn't.
Oh.
Yeah, they should.
That's a whole other debate.
I remember as a
Yeah.
About
kid,
the speed limits.
as a kid driving cross country with my parents, and it's 55 everywhere, and it's just a nightmare. Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to Cheyenne. We'll be there in 72 hours.
Oh god, no!
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on the Autobahn, the reverse would occur. So when you're coming up on a county, the signs would start appearing, showing so many distance, like kilometers, and then it would show the speed limit, basically saying to you, "Get ready,"
You need to slow down soon.
and they were there. So they're right inside the county line. So once you hit inside, and if you're going over that speed limit, they're going to pull your ass over. So it's not like free reign where you can just drive 98 miles an hour wherever you want.
Yeah.
It just decreases the travel time in between districts or whatever.
Okay.
So they're spread out. So their cities and counties and stuff are spread out all over the place
Mhm.
to bridge that gap to get from point A to point B. I was in a crappy, well, not crappy. It was called a Ford C-Max is what I was in.
It's one of the cars people won't buy in the U.S. here.
No, it was floored. I had that thing floored. And man,
It's
there were
governed at 40.
cars passing me like I was standing still. It was
I'd just be
crazy.
afraid of getting rear-ended, like somebody doesn't see you soon enough.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you definitely have to stay in the right lane. You cannot be in the left lane. If you're not going to be, you're going to really make somebody mad. So, hey, I did get a wave and a nod, though. That was cool. So I was in the left lane. I
Whole
was
hand.
passing somebody. Yeah, with the whole hand. I was passing somebody, and I went around him, and there was a guy in a sport bike coming up behind me. And I saw him in the mirror, and I immediately got onto the right side. And he comes by me, and he looks at me, and he nods, and he waves his hand, and he just took off.
Nice.
I was like, hey, man, that's cool. Thanks.
Nice to see you too.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's great to see you.
I feel good about myself now.
I feel good about myself now.
Yeah, Hungary's got a national police. They used to have police, border guards, and customs, but the border guards merged with the police. So now they have police and border guards.
So,
Oh, okay.
so they're all one
No,
unit?
they've got police and
Oh,
they've got border
and
guards.
okay.
That'd be, I don't know, border guard sounds like it'd be kind of boring.
I guess that depends on where you work at. Right now, probably not.
No, probably not.
Not very boring right now. You're probably getting like, hey, sir, we got another wave coming.
Yeah.
We got another wave
understand.
coming in.
Because our border patrol, they do a law enforcement function too.
Right.
Which I guess their border guards do too, but you just
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
picture them being like in stripes or something.
Yeah.
Their little guardhouse.
Oh,
Yeah.
Card house. Yeah, the border patrol thing, man. I guess it really depends on where you work at. That's curious to me. So I wonder if you have like Afghanistan and Iraq and all those countries, if they have a border patrol team or unit, or is that the military?
I don't know. I mean,
That's
they've
what I'm
got some
wondering.
kind of border protection.
They would have to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the world policing stuff, and I was thinking about what's going on over there in Ukraine and everything, the whole fucking disaster going on over there.
Mm-hmm.
I think we actually, myself and Detective Burke, were talking about it offside about working patrol. So you're working in a city somewhere and you get invaded. So you're a patrol cop, detective. What the fuck do you do?
Well, I know in Kiev, they all of their police force became militarized. They were basically drafted, given
Okay.
armor, given weapons, and you have to
See,
defend
I
the
was
city
wondering
now.
if-
Who cares about crime?
Yeah, I was scratching my
I-
head on that one.
Yeah.
I would hope that like your normal criminal over there now would at least be patriotic, and it's like, okay, let's not fuck the country anymore.
Yeah, I started thinking about that, about looting,
Mm-hmm.
looters and stuff. That's a whole different game now.
Well, in wartime,
yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna get shot.
You're going to get
Yeah.
shot. You're going to get blown up or shot or something.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Baghdad when we invaded, it was, they took everything out of the museums and the palaces.
Yeah.
And it wasn't our guys. It was the the locals.
Yeah, so I was thinking about that. I was like, okay, so we're working in a place where it's getting invaded. The military is activating you because you might be put on checkpoints or something like that or
Mhm.
whatever as a patrol officer. I don't know that they're going to send you into
Hot combat zone.
combat zones or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Well, I think you'd have a military police function, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good word. Yeah.
I mean, you'd still be in a
That's probably
combat
true.
zone,
Yeah.
but you're probably not going to be part of an assault wave or anything.
Now, SWAT team's different, maybe. SWAT teams, they may merge you in. The problem is what we've experienced in years of being on SWAT is you can't just throw somebody in a stack somewhere that you don't know,
Right.
because that's very hard to do for someone you haven't even met. So they may use them as their own unit to do special functions
Mm-hmm.
versus mixing them in. Like if they said there was an invasion somewhere here, and the military comes in, declare martial law, special forces come in, I don't think they're going to be throwing special forces in with SWAT guys and SWAT guys in with special forces to
Right.
do raids and that sort of thing. I don't think that would be a thing. I think you'd have your own tasks,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
is the way I would see it, because you've never worked with that person before. And some of these units have been fused together for years. So you toss somebody in there that they don't know, it could really fuck things up pretty badly.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. I mean, I feel for those ladies and men, working in Ukraine, dealing with this situation over there, and citizens in your city getting blown to shit, and
Yeah.
that's crazy. What kind of world would that be? Is
Yeah. To go from a police function to a military function, I can't even
Yep.
imagine.
crazy.
Well, and it's going to be messed up for years
Oh yeah, Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you got to rebuild everything now.
yeah, man, that's nuts. What's next on the list?
Brazil,
Brazil.
the federal police, which is like the national police.
Okay.
The Federal Highway Police, which is I guess state patrol
Is that
on
state
steroids.
patrol on steroids?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brazilian troopers.
Mm-hmm.
The Brazilian Federal Railroad Police.
Well, we have something like that. In the
Yeah, we've got
United
railroad.
States.
We do,
police,
yeah.
It's kind of a strange situation because
Yeah.
they're part of that railroad system
Okay.
or company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Union Pacific.
Yeah, the different
Yeah.
lines,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they are police.
Hey, you kids, get off my rail.
Now, each of the states has their own military police, which they're not part of the military. They just call them the military police because it's like a uniform patrol and they're armed. And the civil police, which they do the investigations. So it's like each state will have their civil police.
Is that like a person that writes around like parking tickets, the civil police, or is
No,
that a
they
different?
actually do the investigative stuff.
CSI Brasilia.
See, in Cyprus, yeah, her name is Rio.
And some of the cities also, it's like a municipal police, but they call them municipal guards.
I don't think I've never been
Another
to
one that'd be
Brazil,
very, very confusing.
so. Would be the municipal guard.
I don't know who I'm being arrested by. Explain to me how this works.
Don't worry about it.
I don't know how this
We'll
works.
sort it all out.
Don't worry about it.
And Bermuda, since that's still a British territory,
Mhm.
we're set up very similar to the way the British police are. The first police, they had 9 parish constables. There was 1 for each parish.
Okay.
So it's like a county.
Mhm.
Yeah, your backup is like a few days away. They have to ride a horse or a mule or something.
Horse and carriage to get there.
And like England, some of these constables, these positions, they were appointed positions for 12 months. And it wasn't paid. So it's like in addition to your normal job,
Okay.
you're a constable.
Oh, okay.
And
Interesting.
And what's kind of
Civil
really
service.
is messed up is, well, they finally started getting paid for it in the 19th century, so in the 1800s.
Mhm.
And the appointments were compulsory. So basically it's like jury duty. The current constable, when he's been there almost a year, on his last days, walking around, looking around, that's the day to stay in the house because you don't want to get tapped. Oh, hey, tag, you're it. You're the new constable.
Tag, you're it.
Crap.
I
Got
have
so
something
much
to
stuff.
do.
Got other stuff going on.
I'm making fish tacos over
I'm
here, guys.
And since then, they become the Bermuda Police Service, and they have armed and unarmed police. Like England, you have your armed response units,
Mhm.
and mostly unarmed. There was a newspaper article I remember seeing that Bermuda had put out a notice to its citizens: hey, if you see police officers carrying guns, it's just part of a new program. Not all of them are going to be carrying them, just some of them.
Just some of them.
Yeah, don't sweat it.
So don't worry, it's not an insurrection. You're fine.
It's not an insurrection.
Now, Iran, here we go. This is a mouthful. I don't know how you'd fit this on a badge.
Uh-oh. This is me.
The law enforcement force of the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Oh, yeah,
They're the main civil law enforcement agency. They have prevention police, security police, which is the prevention police try to prevent crimes from happening. Security police, I guess, deals with the aftermath of a crime. Traffic police, cyber police, anti-narcotics police, and the criminal investigation department. And they have special units which serve like a SWAT function. The best part is they have the guidance patrol, which enforces Iranian dress code laws.
Oh, okay.
The guidance
I was
patrol.
wondering if we were going to get to
Now,
that.
I guess in Iran itself, they're called
Interesting.
the fashion police, is what people call them.
Literally, yeah.
Literally.
Okay.
Literally the fashion.
Okay.
So they patrol, it around in a van with male crew members and by females wearing hijabs with them. And they'll stand at like busy public places, shopping centers, city plazas, things like that. And they will detain people that are wearing bad hijabs.
So what if you're a tourist or something? Or
I don't think they've got a lot of
tourists in Iran.
No,
You don't think
it's
so?
not like, yeah, I don't think that's even the top 150 destinations in the world.
Well, I want to go stay at the Marriott.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you could probably find a room pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of vacancy in Tehran.
Yeah. That's an interesting question, though. I wonder, fashion police really enforce laws on other besides their own citizens.
I would imagine so.
That or
So what they
whatever,
do
it's
is
not
you
following the
kind
dress
of
code.
get detained,
Mm-hmm.
kind of arrested because they take you to like either like a jail or a police station, and they lecture you on how to dress.
Take a hand, left or right.
They give you this lecture on what you should be wearing, and then they're usually released the same day, but their fathers, husbands, or brothers need to go to the station to pick them up.
Of course, yeah.
The patrols rewarded the women who are wearing the correct, hijabs and burqas with flowers.
Oh, that's nice.
So
It's
you
kind of
get like a
our
reward
ticket
for-
program, where
Yeah.
you pull somebody over and they got their
Yeah.
seatbelt on, and
You give them a sucker or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Candy bar.
Good job at covering everything.
That's serious business, though. That's serious. You can't violate that stuff, I don't think.
No.
I really don't think
They don't
you
fuck
can.
around, man.
No. Mm-mm.
That'd be a boring TV show. Tehran Guardian Patrol.
Shuffling around. Hey, you, get over here.
Yeah, we got this lady over here. You can see part of her ankle. We're going to contact her.
Contact. It's okay. She's not from around here.
Yeah.
You show me
Move
your
along,
ID.
citizens.
Well, I don't know if this matches you or not because I can't see your face.
She's doing the best she can. She's not from here, okay? Just give her a break.
She's here for the falafel.
She's here for the falafel. God, I love
Ooh,
falafel.
I could
Oh,
go for
so
a falafel.
good.
Yeah,
Yes.
those are
I could
good.
really go for a falafel.
Tasty.
Tasty. Love me a good falafel.
Yeah.
We got our hot little list rocking here.
Well, let's. You want to go over Canada? The only people that know the lyrics
No.
Canadian national anthem are Canadians and American hockey fans.
Hockey fans.
Hockey
yes.
fans, yes.
Yes.
Well, when we're talking about Canada, it looks like they are broken up into several different, the police are broken up into several different units. So we have the national police, and then we have the provincial level police, and then we have the municipal level police, and then we have the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
And
they're also called the RCMP.
They're also a gendarmerie.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
They fulfill a military function too.
Right.
They do.
True. Yeah. That's right. And I've never worked with any Canadian police. I've been in Canada, so I've never actually had the opportunity to work with anybody.
I've been to training classes with Mounties.
Yes. I have as well.
God, those fuckers can drink.
Yeah. I went to SWAT school with some Mounties.
Really?
Jesus Christ.
Did you really? Nice.
Yeah.
Those guys can pound some beers.
Yeah. They're pretty badass, actually.
It's impressive.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and they have absolutely no hangover the next day. They can
That's
still go out and
crazy.
do
I
stuff.
didn't think of that, but that's true.
Yeah,
'Cause
my
I had gone to
experience,
this tactical rifle school, and there was some Mounties there. We're all on the same floor of this hotel, and they come up the stairs. All the rest of us are carrying our guns, and they'd have like two guys carry all the guns, and then the remaining guys were carrying the suitcases of Labatt's.
Nice. That used to be
That's
my
great.
hockey beer.
Yeah,
Labatt's.
great.
Yeah, Blue
Labatt's,
Ribbon.
yeah.
Yeah.
they
And
would
drink
they
some
would
Labatt's.
throw them in the bathtub, fill the bathtub with ice, and it
Nice,
was
that's
like
cool.
it was almost a nightly occurrence to the
That's
point
cool.
where you feared for your liver.
Fair for my liver. So it seems like they're pretty stellar,
Mm-hmm. I bet they're very polite, and the
Yes.
time where Canadians are not. Well, they're still polite then.
Yeah.
is when they're on the ice.
But
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just level you
Yeah.
with an open ice check, and then sorry,
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
You okay there, guy?
going for the puck.
Come for the puck.
His head was down.
That's great. Yeah. So that is Canada. Canada Enough Show to our friends up north.
I love me some Canada.
Love it. Oh, I love me some Timmy's, some Tim Hortons,
Mm-hmm.
some Timbits. Those are, if you don't know what Timbits are, the little donut holes.
Oh yeah.
They can get in the drive-thru at a Timmy's. Tim Hortons coffee, man. I don't know what they put in that shit, but it's great. It's great
Maple
stuff,
syrup.
man. I don't know what they do, man, but it is fantastic.
You want sugar or maple syrup?
You want sugar and maple syrup in your coffee. It's fantastic. That was the first place I ever had a vanilla shake with maple syrup and bacon in it.
Nice.
It was fucking fantastic.
Nice.
It was great. It was awesome. I never had anything like that before, and that was awesome. And they had
That's
a glazed,
life changing. It sounds.
and they had a glazed donut with bacon on it.
Yeah, they've started carrying those here.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great stuff, man.
You wouldn't think it would be. It's good.
And I know if there's Canadian folks out there, I know exactly what's coming next. Poutine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Got to have some poutine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I don't even know what that's made out of, really. But
It's
cheese
French fries
and gravy or something like
cheese
that.
and gravy.
Yeah.
And
It's fantastic.
It's like
sorts of-
Elvis fries, kind of.
all sorts of
Elvis-
goodness.
A little bit
Yeah.
some Hill's fries out there.
It tastes like
Thank
hockey.
you very much. Tastes like hockey.
It's like, hey, can you give me some French fries there? Can you put some cheese and chili on there and some other stuff, some gravy on there too? Are you sure that's healthy? Yeah, I don't know. It's real good.
You only live once.
You only live once.
So these different law enforcement agencies around the world, probably most countries don't have law enforcement the way we do. Do you think? Do you think some of those ideas would fly here in the U.S.?
As far as which ones, like what?
There was a article in Foreign Policy, American Foreign Policy. They're talking about the Carabinieri in Italy.
Mhm.
They're capable of force, but rarely using it. It could make a promising model for police forces everywhere, and it's one the U.S. police forces should study. Now, there was
Ooh.
also another
That's
article
a tough one. Mhm.
about a month ago. You remember? Okay, the two kids in Italy, the American kids that killed that Italian policeman.
Right.
Oh, right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, I remember that.
So from AP, several members of Italy's Carabinieri paramilitary police force, but they're not really paramilitary, they actually are a military police force, called for the deaths or beatings of two American teenagers who were arrested in the hours after an officer's slaying. How would that fly? We arrest a murder suspect to a press release that, well, we think they should either be beaten or killed. That's just, it's not going to go over well.
No.
No, I think that probably, I think that probably would not go well.
A protest is afoot.
A protest would be afoot, yeah. I mean, that's a whole other discussion. But you look at law enforcement in the 70s and 80s,
Mm-hmm.
we had a lot of defensive tactics or police officer self-defense or whatever you want to call it out there that used a baton strictly for all their techniques.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Total control theory.
Total control. So you arrested somebody with a baton. You got them under control with a baton. You did your takedowns with a baton. You did everything with a baton. So I think that's similar to that, to where you contact somebody, they get out of line, you just whack them with a baton.
A little bit of street justice. That's it.
right.
Really used to fly here. It was very similar to that.
Yeah.
I know some old school police officers that
Mhm.
talked about
Oh,
guys
yeah.
falling off of roofs,
Yeah,
falling out of a parking garage.
yeah.
You know, if you hurt a cop, then you're gonna accidentally fall and die.
Yeah, I mean, that was stuff that was going on back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't think it's so much prevalent anymore.
No, not at all.
But
No,
if you
it
look
would not
at-
fly now.
Well, I think the people who become police officers are different too now.
Oh, they are.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, there's that scene in End of Watch, that movie End of Watch, where he goes up to the gangbanger in his apartment and he takes his belt off and he squared off
Oh,
with
yeah.
that guy one to
Yeah.
one.
And they scrap a little. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it in our first episode, the movie episode, which we're probably going to revisit again, about any fact behind that. What I recall, it was based on somebody's career or somebody's adventures or something like
Right.
that. As far as if that scene is real or not, I don't know.
I can
I'm sure it
see that
is.
happening.
Yeah.
Because the guy said, I think in the movie he talked about it's all about respect. It's all about gaining respect.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think that scene was supposed to
Yeah.
pass along, is about him earning the respect of the gang, or vice versa, whatever.
Yeah, because they throw hands, and then he only ends up charging him with the disorderly conduct for the original call.
Yeah, right. Does that stuff go on now? I think with the cell phone, the invention of the cell phone,
Body cams.
body cameras, I think a lot of... I have never met anyone that didn't have a cell phone on them.
Mhm.
I have never met a person besides my parents that had non-camera phone device that they would carry around, a flip phone basically.
Yeah.
That you could basically take those little
Yeah.
crappy little images.
Yeah.
But besides that, I've never met anyone that does not have a cell phone on them. So
And then there's going to be cell phones nearby too.
right. That's a hard one, man. I don't think that's going to fly anymore. I don't think
No.
so.
No, not in modern policing.
60s, 70s, and 80s, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at some video news footage of some crowd control tactics back in the 60s and 70s that would just basically border along Viking style,
Yeah.
which I don't think would really
It's
fly now.
changed. It's
Yeah.
changed a lot.
Does the U.S. need a national police force to like assist locals with things?
Didn't they try that? Wasn't that a
No.
conceptualized idea?
They may have
Back in the
conceptualized
70s
it,
and 80s?
but it never.
I mean, the
I think-
closest we get is FBI, DEA,
Mhm.
ATF.
But this, I'm talking like a uniformed.
Yeah.
I think several states have actually tried it to do a national academy for their state. I think several
No, yeah,
have.
you can do an academy, but I mean, talking about a national police force. I just don't think
An
Americans
actual
would go for it.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, without getting it militarized, I don't know.
I just don't think we'd go for it here.
I don't think so. I don't think it would work. I think you'd, oh man, that would be a,
I think we're too independent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we
Well, you get each state's laws are going to vary.
yeah. We like our rights.
Each
You know,
county and
so-
city's laws are going to vary.
Right.
I think the
do
closest you
now.
have to that is the FBI, but they're not even,
They're not
they're
uniformed.
not really uniform.
No.
So, man, I don't know that would,
I mean, you got
That would
Federal
work.
Protective Service, but they only have jurisdiction on that federal property.
right,
Mhm.
right, on whatever
US
federal grounds
Marshals.
are on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think that would be something that would work.
Yeah, I can't see Americans going for it.
Because like you said, you go from state to state and you have variations of different.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about the statute book you'd have for your first week
You-
on patrol.
You would have to learn the statutes for every state you go to.
68,000 pages.
Yeah, that would be tough. Yeah, there's no
And
way.
even like the county and municipality you're in,
Mm-hmm.
you would have to learn those laws.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't even know how. I don't even know how you would do that without making it a part of the U.S. government military.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, it's just
Yeah.
all the varying laws. It would be too confusing.
It would be confusing. It would get you a little bit confused. I think you would almost have to have a national police. You'd almost have to have like zones. So you'd have to break the United States up into zones, quadrants or whatever you want to call it. And then you'd be assigned to an academy in a quadrant. And then that would be it. So you'd be responsible for those 7 states or something like that. And then you'd have to learn the code and municipalities in all of those states.
Yeah,
And
that
then
would
you'd
be
have to
tough.
figure out how the hell you're going to
Maybe only
patrol.
enforcing certain crimes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the numbers you would need for something like that? The bodies?
Yeah, depends. I don't think you would need a lot as much as you're thinking.
Yeah, I guess not. But yeah, I was thinking areas of like Texas and California, those big state areas
The large
that you'd have to
geographical
cover.
areas. Yeah, I think that's what makes us different from a lot of other countries is our geographical area.
Yeah, is pretty big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like driving from London up to Newcastle in a day. They're just amazed that you would do that.
Yeah. They are. Yeah.
I don't think you'd have a patrol unit though, because can you imagine you'd be like responsible for 4 states, and you're like, well,
No, you'd have to be in a specific area.
You'd
You'd
be
have to
completely
be-
reactive. There'd be no proactive policing
so
involved in that at all.
you'd have to have a quadrant, your quadrant, and then that would be broken down into different zones. So
Mhm.
you'd have a 7-state quad that you'd be patrolling, but then that would be broken down into other smaller divisions. But man, that's a crazy idea.
Yeah, when we
Crazy
drove
concept.
from London to Newcastle, they were just amazed. I was like, oh, it wasn't. It was like, we even stopped to see things on the way. It was only about 8 hours.
Yeah,
And they're just, I'd be exhausted and like, dude, I could drive for 8 hours, not be out of my state.
Yeah. Very true.
I think you'd need a pretty serious fixed wing unit
Mm-hmm.
or something, because
Well, you're not going to be
yeah.
enforcing traffic, so
drones, you'd probably be using a lot of drones.
I could see you just like you'd just be responding to a certain area, maybe certain counties of a state.
Yeah, it'd be nuts.
Aircraft, because you're not enforcing traffic laws. You really don't need them.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, anyway, you know what? We are bringing in a new segment to the show at the top of the hour. It's called The Detective's Corner. So welcome to the Detective's Corner.
We should have some
Today's-
special music for this.
We should have some special music for it. Yeah, we should. Anyway, so Detective's Corner, today's topic is good cop, bad cop. Question came up, is it real? Does it exist? Yes and yes. So good cop, bad cop has a historical database that goes all the way back to probably the early 1900s. So you can even look at it, really it took off in like the 40s, was a good cop, bad cop routine. It was also called Mutt and Jeff routine, which was based off of a 1912, 1915 cartoon. There's a couple of bumbling characters in the cartoon or something like that. But the technique of the good cop, bad cop got born was you had one asshole and one super nice guy. And the technique's idea was that if you have the asshole first, so you have the asshole detective talks to the suspect and is just curmudgeon, just angry, you're vile, you ain't worth the salt on this earth kind of thing, talking to the suspect. And then his partner comes in, which is the kind and gentle person, says, hey man, why don't you take a break for a minute? Just go cool off. I know you're upset. And then they talk to the person. They're like, hey, would you like a cigarette? That's 40s. We're talking 40s. Would you like a coffee, a donut or something? What can I get you? They build a rapport. Then every once in a while, the bad cop comes in and interjects. The idea, the concept is to push that person mentally over to the good cop so that they can get an easy confession. However, the problem is that they said that the science behind it was flawed and that you'd often get false confessions out of it. It's not so much used today as it was back 40s, 50s, 60s. And you can even trace it back to a person named John Reed, which is Reed Interview and Interrogation. If you've ever been through a training class, which I think we all have, that also Reed Interview Interrogation Technique has gotten a lot of love and hate over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because of the style and technique. So it has become a gold standard in law enforcement interview training courses. So apparently in the 50s, John Reed would use that similar tactic of good cop, bad cop. You see it a lot portrayed in movies and TV shows and stuff where they have that very similar situation. Some comedies like Will Ferrell. They had bad cop and worst cop.
The other guys, yeah.
The-
I thought
the
we were
other
doing
guys.
bad cop, bad cop.
We're doing bad cop, bad cop.
You came in hot.
You
I didn't
came-
know where else to go.
I didn't know where else to go. So yes, the question is, does it exist? Detective Burke, Sergeant Raji, what do you think? Good cop, bad
Yeah,
cop
you
routine.
just don't see it much anymore because it just doesn't work.
It's not structured.
No.
You know, you don't go over to your partner and say, "Are we going to do good cop, bad cop? Do you want to be good cop or bad cop?" You know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think the courts are kind of don't look at it very nicely anymore. It's especially when you come in hot as an asshole, and you're immediately out the gates. You know, like treating them like a piece of shit, basically calling them names and that sort of thing. You know, you're vile and that. You're just acting really mean and stuff. And then the other guy comes in. So they would probably consider that a forced confession.
Yeah.
There are some historical cases about people who were falsely imprisoned based off of the good cop, bad cop routine. So
Okay.
there was a guy that was in prison in the 70s for a sexual assault murder case that he didn't do it, and they did the good cop, bad cop routine on him, and he eventually confessed because he just wanted it to end because it went on. I think they said it went on for 8.5 hours.
Wow.
That's how long it went on for, and he finally just confessed.
Fuck it.
And
Mhm.
he was released.
Yeah.
He was in prison, I think, for 20-something years. And then some guy actually confessed to it,
Yeah.
confessed to the crime, and they had to release him. So that's, yeah.
And anybody that's considering going into like law enforcement or investigations, you have to remember, you're going to corroborate what witnesses tell you.
Mhm.
If you got a suspect and they confess, you need to corroborate that confession too.
Right.
Right.
That this person actually has knowledge of it,
Right.
and you can verify what
That's
they're
right.
telling you.
Yeah.
As there's somebody in particular I'm thinking of that would just call it good as soon as you got a confession.
The years I've worked as a detective, I've never used a good cop, bad cop. I think
No.
I've never actually used it
Yeah.
because I think you get a lot more. What's the phrase I'm looking for? You get a lot more with honey than you do
Vinegar.
with,
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
But they can also take advantage of that. There's
Right,
the other
sure.
side of that
Yeah.
too, where they can see your kindness as weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they
And
talk
they'll tell
about
you anything you want to hear.
They talk about that in their when you're dealing with seasoned convicts. Sometimes they respond more to hate
Mm-hmm.
than they do with
They do.
kindness.
Yeah.
So I think that's just a matter of feeling out the situation,
Knowing your
whatever,
audience.
interview
Yeah.
room
Mm-hmm.
you're in. And I'm not going to get into the difference of an interview and interrogation. We can use that for
Right.
another
Yeah.
detective's corner.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the detective's corner. Now back to the regular show.
All right. So what do you guys think of, how Europe, if you're going to be a police officer, you go to school to be a police officer. I don't mean just like a police academy.
What do you mean, like a college?
Yes. Like a 2-year college, longer, like a trade school.
So instead of going to a police academy, you go to a trade school.
Well, no, it's a police college.
Okay.
What do you guys think of doing something like that, like they do in Europe and a lot of countries?
I think that could be useful.
Yeah.
I think it could be useful. I don't know if they would specialize in that or if you just go through a general.
No, it
police
would
school.
be a police school.
Well, no, I mean within the police school, if you would specialize,
No, I think
like you want to be a CSI or detective
you
or
just
SWAT
wanna-
or something like that.
you just go to a police school because you're going to
Okay.
have to start off there anyway.
So it'd be
General policing.
for 2
Mhm.
years.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Would it be like location specific?
Yeah, you'd probably set it up statewide in each state.
Yeah, because like you said, each place you go has different laws and stuff like that. So
I don't know. I just think
Interesting.
it's a good idea. 'Cause
Yeah.
it might be expensive to start, but I think in the long run it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
yeah, I think so. I could see something like that working. I guess the argument we would get is that, well, you can already get a criminal justice degree now,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't incorporate any of the actual law enforcement training within that program, unless there is one out there.
Well, studying the law and implementing the law are two completely different things.
Fair enough. That's true.
So,
I think
Uh-huh.
we've all
I-
seen the criminal justice degree
Yeah.
that comes in, and they fail out of FTO.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. We've seen that quite a bit.
It would be
yeah.
great for that. It would be great for weeding out the bad eggs,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah. So I think you could really incorporate that. I think that's probably a functional idea.
And make it part of it. You get to take a foreign language.
Uh-huh.
College credits towards some other degree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I
like
think that
that.
could work.
Yeah.
Now the funding for it, I don't know.
Yeah,
You'd have to figure out where the funding's
that's
going to
the
come
kicker.
from.
Well, it's probably it would be like any college. You just have to pay for it yourself. Student loans out
Mhm.
the ass. And
Yeah, and then you'd be looking at, so like if you're in like a state and you have multiple police departments within that state, you'd have to get a buy-in. I don't know if you'd have to send all the police officers through that program, if that would be a requirement by the law. So in
Mhm.
order to
Like,
work,
that's the way it would work.
like a sponsorship.
It would have to be.
ooh, that'd be
You're
difficult.
required to go through this police college for
That'd
2
be
years.
a hard sell
Yeah.
because there's some police departments that are so ground in their ways that
Mhm.
it would be really hard to sell them on it unless you just write it into law and just make it happen. Basically, say, hey,
Yeah. It'd be tough for the small towns too.
uh-huh.
You know,
Mhm.
the,
Well-
the towns that have 2,
Well,
3
they
cops.
wouldn't-
But they'd
and-
be better trained though in some of those
They
small
would.
areas. I'm
They
not
would.
saying that small town police officers aren't trained.
right.
But I'm saying that they don't have the funding
The funding That's right.
necessarily to send someone off to get trained,
Right.
so they could get a lot of their training in that program,
At no cost really to them.
yeah, no cost really to them, and then go to those agencies and then work.
Yeah.
But man,
It'd be hard to test too. I would think that it would take 25, 30 years to really see if it was
Mhm.
beneficial or not, just because of where we are now with people would be grandfathered in.
well, plus I think the argument would fall on the larger agencies, the big
that
agencies
have their own academies.
that have their own
Right.
academies. That would be the point, because I bet you what would happen is you would go through this 2-year program, and then they would put you through their own academy anyway.
Well, I
Yeah.
could see that anyway
Yeah.
because you got to learn their policies.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
Municipal laws. Yeah.
Mhm. Their defensive
Geography,
tactics,
yeah.
their
Right.
driving.
all their stuff that they got to do. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah,
But at
yeah,
that
that's really
point, you'd be
interesting.
getting paid too.
right.
You're
Yeah.
getting paid to go through the academy at that point.
Yeah.
Huh.
Now, thinking back, was 16 weeks really enough?
Probably not.
Yeah,
Probably not.
some of them are longer than others. Some police
Mhm.
academies are longer than others, depending on where you go. It's different all over the United States. It's different everywhere. 16 weeks.
That's most of them.
It is. That's pretty consistent. When we talked about in the last episode that, at about the 5-year mark, you got
Mhm.
a pretty good handle on things.
Yeah, that's
Nobody's
true.
going to go to college or an academy for 5 years
Mhm.
to become a cop.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the answer is, but
yeah, I
yeah,
think
16
that's
weeks
interesting.
I don't think it is enough.
No, I don't think so. I think that varies from person to person too. I think you can have a time slot like that that's perfectly fine for someone.
I remember just getting out of FTO, and this was early '94.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come on duty for graveyards, and the sergeant's there, and he tells me the other graveyard car called off. The neighboring city doesn't have anybody on. The county has an on-call deputy. Oh, and State Patrol had already called it for the evening.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're like,
You're it for the county.
You're it for the entire
you're it
county.
for the county and city.
Yeah.
you're it.
And I didn't stop a single car that night.
Yeah.
Just sat on the side of the road. Oh fuck!
I am so screwed. What have I done?
Well, you want to stop a car because you could.
No.
All of a sudden, this guy's got a warrant for something stupid.
Yeah.
You're gonna pick him up,
Yeah.
and then if you take them to jail, you're gonna miss the important call that comes out
Right.
because you're tied up at the jail now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you're kind of out there on an island. I think that happens a lot.
Yeah, and it sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember just getting through that first week,
Mhm.
where you're sitting in the passenger seat the whole time as they drive for the first week. You're getting used to the whole thing, and looking at the uniform and then putting it on are two very different things.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because when you're first wearing it, it's pretty cool, and after 5 years, you're like, this thing sucks. I hate wearing this thing.
You know, I don't know if anybody that likes wearing body armor.
No.
Oh, man.
And they're better than they used to be.
If they could come up with some
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of a tactical armored shirt, I think that would be fantastic.
I would say you learn to tolerate it.
Right.
I don't know if you get used to it
Yeah.
either, or you just tolerate it.
Yeah.
Especially depending on where you work at. Like if you work in, Nevada, Vegas, those freaking, it's
Miami.
115
Mhm.
degrees.
Yeah.
What's
in the
Miami,
shade.
in Hawaii, the humidity,
Humidity
and
is
it's
so
warm.
high. Yeah.
You would just be permanently dehydrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That
so.
would be pretty awful.
Yeah.
Have like 2 gallons of water in the car with you
Yeah.
for the day.
Speaking of that, something I just thought of when we were talking about world policing? Thinking about the desert. Do they patrol the
Oh, I thought you
desert?
were going to say Team America.
Fuck yeah.
Save the motherfucking day, yeah. No, I was thinking about the desert.
Well, there's nothing out there.
Well, I know,
I'm going to patrol this sand.
but I'm going to patrol this. Yeah, I'm going to go out there. Say, Bill, come here. You've got desert patrol this weekend.
Oh,
Come on,
God
man.
damn it.
Come on, Sarge.
put it down in your daffer.
Bill,
saw
not
a
the
dung
whole-
beetle.
Not the whole thing, Bill. You don't have to patrol the whole desert. Just our part of it, just our section.
I
Because
guess
you
I'll
think
check
about
out Camel
that.
15.
Because you have so many agencies in the United States that are just like that, where you have to go to these rural areas
Mm-hmm.
that are nothing but forest and, well, whatever it is. So you think that, I guess they wouldn't, I don't know. But, man, that would be terrible.
Well,
That'd be-
like our one buddy that came from that really rural county before he came to our agency.
Oh, right, yeah.
Where backup was sometimes 90 minutes away.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
A 90-minute code run through the county to
Right.
get somewhere.
Yeah.
Something that we didn't even talk about these world agencies is funding. Some of these agencies are not well funded.
No.
Right.
And reading about Jamaica, like some of these law enforcement agencies in these
Mm-hmm.
kind of areas where they actually are given weapons that they've taken off of somebody else.
That's safe.
So it's not even like they go to the police store and buy gear. Sometimes they acquire it
Yeah.
from the bad guys. So they get
Mhm.
their weapons, because their funding is not. We could go into the whole discussion about corruption and all that sort of thing, and where the high dollar amounts go to. Some of these agencies around there, I think,
Well, some of the police
struggle.
in Mexico have to buy their own cars.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mexico,
that's just awful.
Yeah.
speaking of Mexico, we really haven't touched on Mexico, the Mexican police and the what are they? The federales.
Federales.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like a lot of places in the world. They have their federal police, their state police, and then their municipal police,
Okay.
which is interesting.
That's
'Cause
got the Marines patrolling the beach.
They do. Yeah.
Huh.
They patrol the coast.
Wow.
That's
yeah, which is
weird.
interesting stuff.
That's crazy.
I watched a documentary recently about the avocado cartel.
Avocado cartel.
Yeah.
So they named after the fruit.
Well, that's not their official name.
Okay.
I don't recall the actual official name of the cartel.
They're probably pissed when they saw that in the paper. It's
Yeah.
like, really?
Yeah. We're not avocados.
We're not avocados.
So in Michoacan, in
Uh-huh.
Mexico, after NAFTA, and that's for a whole other topic. We won't get into NAFTA
Okay.
and,
Yeah.
free trade and all that stuff. But after NAFTA, the United States can import avocados for the first time.
Hey.
Yeah. So we can
Wait.
have them year round
Okay.
for the first time.
Interesting.
Because they were seasonal before. They were, we got them from California.
Love me an avocado, man.
Yes. And the number one place in the world where they grow avocados is in Mexico. And in Michoacan, it's the avocado capital of the world. And it's a multi-billion-dollar industry to import into the United States. So with policing down there, when they first started importing, it was all the local farmers and the local townspeople made bank.
Okay.
They sent their avocados to the United States and were making a ton of money. Well, the cartel took notice because it's a profit, right? So they came in and infiltrated the local police, the state police in Michoacan, which is a state in Mexico,
Okay.
and the municipal police took over the industry. They started kidnapping farmers. They started strong-arming people. You had to pay basically a tax in
Mhm.
order to export any avocados. Well, the town folks did not like this. What they decided to do was make their own police department,
No shit.
which was voluntary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we're going to start our own police.
exactly, and that's what they did, which was
Wow.
mind blowing to
That
me.
is mind blowing.
No standards. It's just if you live in this town where you export avocados and you want to protect yourself from the cartel, then we're going to arm you and put you on patrol, and we'll keep the cartel out. And they were successful.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they have recently been successful.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's some big balls right there. I mean, that's,
Right?
That's
But
cool
what a
shit.
way to police, huh? You just make up your own police force and no
Yeah,
standards or anything. And
Well, we're
give
the
you a gun.
avocado police.
Yeah.
Where's the movie?
It's
Where's the
interesting,
movie at?
right?
It's got to be out there
Yeah.
somewhere.
There are documentaries out there, and
That's
I
crazy.
unfortunately I can't recall where I first saw it. It was on Netflix or one of those streaming apps, but there are some documentaries out there about it, which is really interesting.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, who starts that? Somebody just walks out and says, "Hey, is anybody tired of this stuff going on here? You wanna?"
Yeah.
Because we're going to go ahead and start ourselves a police department.
We'll
Who's
get some
in?
badges on Etsy. And
Who's
yeah,
with me?
Yeah.
Who's with me?
Yeah.
look, we can even have an avocado in the center as a seal.
Oh, I love avocados. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, in Michoacan, it was they were all local farmers. You know, they were tired of getting kidnapped. They were tired of getting strong armed for
Yeah.
a percentage of their profits, and for quote unquote protection.
Mm-hmm.
So you would pay the cartel for protection from the cartel.
Wait a second. Pay the cartel for protection from the cartel.
Who
Yeah.
are you protecting us from? Us.
Us, yeah.
Yeah, but, that's crazy.
That's a nice
Yeah,
farm
it's
you've got
interesting.
here. I'd hate to see something happen to it.
Well, I guess
But I don't know why
yeah.
the cartel guy sounds British, but
Well, I mean, British aggression.
There could be some British cartel guys out there. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's the same phrase. Money talks.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. Especially in
You
a
got
third
the
world
cashola.
country.
Yeah.
And I did some research on the top 10 worst and the top 10 best police agencies in the world, according to the internet, which you can't put anything on the internet that
Right,
isn't
sure.
true.
Well, if it's on the internet, it's got to be true.
Yeah, yeah. And Mexico was in the top 10 consistently. It was Mexico at 10, Haiti at 9, Pakistan, Russia. No surprise there.
Okay.
oh, by the way, fuck those guys.
Yeah, yeah. I agree.
Fuck those guys. Fuck those guys.
Eat a bag of dicks.
Yes, that's it.
Behold my bag of dicks for
Behold
you to
my
eat.
bag of dicks for you to eat.
Sudan was number 6. Afghanistan, which we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
was number 5. Somalia at 4.
Okay.
Iraq at 3.
hmm
Burma at 2. Which the only thing I know about Burma is pythons, Burmese pythons. I don't know much about Burma.
I don't either. No.
Yeah, and then Kenya came in as consistently as the worst police force in the world.
Kenya.
Yeah, which I thought was a little surprising. I don't know why I thought it was surprising, but
Well, there's so many documentaries on animal stuff in Kenya.
right? Yeah, poachers. Hey, you
Poachers.
poachers! Say hello to my little friend.
Say hello to my little friend. Yeah, that's crazy. Top 10 list.
Who are the best?
So the best, and this was kind of consistent with several different websites. There was a surprising thing in the best, and I'll get to it. But number 10 was Italy, which
Okay.
we talked about earlier.
Okay.
Number 9, believe it or not, is China
China.
Really?
in world rankings.
Hmm.
Yes,
Okay.
which I thought was fascinating that a communist country can be ranked as one of the best police forces in the world. Of course, I don't know what the standards are, so I don't know if it's probably not based off of community policing.
I'm going to go ahead and guess no.
Yeah, it's probably conviction rate.
Conviction rate is really high.
Yeah. Number 8 was Germany, which we talked
Okay,
about earlier. Number 7, Australia,
Australia.
our brothers
Alright.
from another mother.
Yep.
They're the southern hemisphere America.
That's right.
Yep. Crikey.
Crikey.
I always have to do that. I'm sure Australians hate it. You know.
I'm sure they do.
I'm sure they
Yeah.
do. Crikey. Have a
Like
look at that
bollocks.
one. Number 6, good old USA. Number 5, Japan, which was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Number 4, France.
Okay.
Number 3 was the Netherlands, Deutschland. Number 2, our fine brothers from the north, Canada.
Wow.
Yay,
Yeah.
Canada.
And number one, believe it or not, going full circle, England. Back to
Wow.
Robert
England.
Peel.
Back
Yes.
to Robert Peel again.
Yeah.
Holy crap. So that's the top 10
Yeah. According to the
Policemen.
internet.
according to the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you could probably find other lists out there.
Yeah, this was off of Wonderlist and some foreign affairs
Okay,
websites.
yeah.
I compiled a
Interesting.
little list off of several different sites, but
Oh, you know, when
Yeah,
we
those were
went to
consistent.
St. Lucia a few years ago, I had to remind my son not to bring any camouflage swimwear or shorts because it's illegal in a lot of the Caribbean countries.
that's right.
You can't wear camouflage if you're not part of the military or the police.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
What are you in for? Wearing my swimsuit.
Yeah.
Camouflage swimsuit.
I was snorkeling, and next thing I know, I'm on a boat with a bunch of armed guys.
I was just snorkeling around with my camouflage swim trunks
I
on.
just want to
and
see a
here I
turtle,
am.
man. Just a turtle.
And
That's
now
all I
I'm
want.
now I'm in prison.
Yeah.
We could go in that whole thing on that show, Locked Up Abroad. Have you ever
Oh,
watched that
yes.
show?
Yeah. And World's Worst Prisons.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Man, there's some
I
crazy
do
people
think it's
around.
consistently funny how these people are just so put out that they're being arrested for something like, because sometimes it is something stupid. It's like, well, dude, you're not in the U.S.
Yeah.
No.
You can bitch. I'm an American. Yeah, they can. It's their
Yeah.
country.
We don't care. Yeah.
Hey, I'll give you $1,000 if you carry this briefcase over there.
Yeah.
Wow,
Oh.
really?
Really? That's all? $1,000? I'm in. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm being arrested.
No.
What's happening? I didn't know it was cocaine.
I didn't know it was Marcellus Wallace's soul from Pulp Fiction.
Oh my God, that's so terrible. Yeah, yeah, that show is that. Sometimes I watch that show and I just shake my head. I'm like, what made you think that that was a good idea?
Yeah.
What
Well,
made you sit there and go,
It would have
hey,
paid for my whole vacation. He just said I had to take this baby formula back to Miami.
right? It's
Really,
like they're
because they can't just ship baby formula to Miami.
It's like that couple that was on vacation in Mexico City. One of the episodes was a couple was on vacation in Mexico City. They're sitting at a restaurant, and a handsomely dressed man comes up to them with a briefcase and says, I will pay you $3,000 to take this suitcase and drive it to this location. And gave them the location. They were a young couple. They're very excited. They're like, oh, this is like a little adventure. Well, it certainly was. It turned out to be a 5-year adventure or something like that. They both ended up in separate jails, prisons. Of course, it was cocaine was inside the suitcase, and they got busted trying to transport it.
Did they really think that this was something legit?
I
How do you
have
not-
I
how
have
do you
no
not-
idea.
How does
I
that
have
not
no idea.
cross your mind?
I
That,
don't know. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think so. It doesn't sound right.
Yeah, the wife, she actually ended up escaping.
Prison?
Yes, she escaped out of a transport. So she managed to escape out of the back of the van. That was her story, and she ran. She was handcuffed, and she ran, and a family found her laying in a field, and they saved her life. The husband, however, remained in prison for like another 5 or 6 years or something like that, and he was pretty.
That's weak sauce.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Come
bad.
on, man.
That's crazy. Of course, their
That's
marriage
gotta
didn't
be
work out. I don't think.
Well, imagine her trying to get back into the U.S.
Oh.
Right? Yeah, with no documentation.
No
Well, I'm sure there's
documentation.
family looking for him too, and they saw the news story, and they're probably like, "Holy shit, that's my daughter," or whatever. But crazy,
Guess you could charter a boat to pick him up somewhere.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh no, it's a scuba outing.
Right.
right, yeah. I thought that was crazy, but yeah, there's all kinds of stories like that out there on that show. Locked up. Wow. It's
Well, it
nuts.
doesn't surprise me that people get themselves into those types of situations.
No.
I mean, yeah,
Well,
people, not generally, but sometimes people just aren't the smartest.
Really? All I have to do is take this briefcase?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them was basically about the 80s. One guy was trying to traffic drugs in Miami and was like, "Well, I'm not successful here."
You don't
so,
say.
So guess
Shocking.
what? So guess what his plan was? I'm not successful here. I'm going to go to South America. It's just another one. It's like, what?
Just a bad idea, man.
Well, I'm going to go make my money down there. And yeah, He ended up in prison for something like 20 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes on those shows they have the actual person. Sometimes at
That's
the
right.
end or during the show throughout, they'll talk to the actual person and they're kind of telling their story.
Oh,
and
in
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
retrospect, it was a pretty stupid idea.
Yeah.
In retrospect, I can't think of one day where I think that was a good plan. It's like, what? If somebody walked up to me and said, "Hey, man, you want to make a quick $3,000? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no.
Get the fuck out.
I don't care what you have to say. I'm done.
Leave. I'm not even talking to you. I don't even
Bye,
want to see you.
Felicia.
I don't even want
Let's
you
see
in
the
my
cash up front.
periphery.
Cash up front, yeah.
And
No.
the briefcase goes into a dumpster.
It was a
And
sad,
get on your
Yeah.
flight.
sad story. No, I
Until you're
I
not.
I
think
paid this American $3,000 to take the briefcase. He never showed up.
oh God, I can't. It's
Uh,
you
What are
just
they going to
shake
do,
your
sue
head.
you?
yeah.
Well, you just shake your head because you're like, you have children or something like that, and you get a collect phone call from like a child, and they're like, "Oh, I'm in jail in Mexico.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
What
Well.
what did you do?
where do I need to wire the money?
What did you do?"
Ask him how much the fine is.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna be calling the producer from Locked Up Abroad. Write this out, son. Let's make a story out of this. Come on,
Yeah, yeah. Let's do it.
let's do it.
I do have to say that all the years I've spent in Mexico, I love Mexico. I have never had a negative encounter with a police officer there.
Good.
The times I've been down there, we haven't.
Yeah. Yeah. And I,
I
go
mean,
off the
and they're
beaten
always-
path.
Yeah, they've always been really helpful. Like if
Yeah.
you're looking for some place, they can
Yeah.
Yeah.
they'll get you there. They'll tell you how to get there, and so at least that way, it's in the cities too.
Right. And I've never been to a border town, but I've gone off the beaten path, and
Yeah, I've been
a
to
lot
that
of
much.
the concierges and stuff at the hotels, they'll tell you, take an extra $60-$80 with you in case you get pulled over if you rent
Mhm.
a car. But I've never experienced anything
Never
negative.
had anything. Yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of other people have, but I haven't in my experience.
Yeah. No, I haven't been there that much really to be able to say either way, but I've not been arrested in Mexico. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, me either. Me either. I know somebody who has, but
I have not been
we won't go
arrested
into
there.
that.
We won't go into that. We won't go into that story. No, I've never been arrested there. Hey, I hope you guys everyone out there listening to podcasts have enjoyed the show today. If you want to leave a comment for us, we have a couple of ways to do it. One is on Twitter. You can tweet us at
That sounds disgusting.
that does sound
It's
disgusting.
dirty.
At Detectivery SOM, and that is at Chuck_detective. So you can find us on Twitter, or you can also email us at detectiverysom@gmail.com. So please leave your comments and tell us what you like, what you didn't like, and what you'd like to hear us talk about. But hey, I hope you guys all enjoyed the show. You guys stay safe out there, have fun, kick ass, and enjoy life.